one of the main things that we need to develop and practice is confidence in our own ability to move ahead with our practice. The teacher or the reading or listening can only lead you so far. It's paramount that we practice on a daily basis. It's also really important, really helpful to have a sense that our day is our practice, that our life is our practice, that we are aware, that we are mindful of where we are at any given moment in the day, that we are aware of our mental state, we are aware of the way that we are feeling, we are aware of the way that we are reacting. And we're not going to keep it together all the time, but it's really imperative that we have that dedication to the practice, to keep coming back again and again. And basically, what that means is to be aware of when we're distracted from the present moment. It's okay to be eating an ice cream cone. It's okay to realize you're upset with a situation. It's okay to be sad or elated. It's okay to have the normal human experiences, but what's important is to be present for those experiences, to know when they're there. And also to know when the mind becomes a distraction and takes us away from what the present experience actually is. So to live with our practice, to keep coming back to our practice, doesn't mean to hold tight, doesn't mean to try to control, it doesn't mean to try to be calm all the time, but it means being present, it means showing up, and showing up for ourselves. We get caught up in habitual patterns, habitual ways of reacting, habitual tendencies, habitual ways of distracting ourselves from what's actually taking place. I went to the dentist today. I went to the dentist today, and I haven't been for a couple of years, and which is very bad. And so they were cleaning my teeth. And by the way, I don't know if you've noticed, but I never brush my teeth. Just kidding. And it was quite uncomfortable because I had a lot of plaque. I'm sure you want to know about the intricacies of my mouth. But and so what that meant is when she was using the water pick, and is that there would be a nerve reaction, and she was in my mouth for a long time, I think about an hour, and there were shots of that nerve pain. There was happened several times, maybe 30 or 40 times in the hour. And it was really a practice for me to just be present and to know that the pain, like you get that shot of pain, right? But it's just there for a split second and then it's gone. And so can you be there when it's gone? Or are you still thinking of the pain? Or are you waiting for the next moment of pain? And I found myself, it was like it hurt, but just for a split second, that pure kind of nerve pain, only you seem to get from in your mouth. And then it was gone. But then I would check my body and it was tense because I was waiting for the next shot. I was waiting for the next hit. And that's kind of what we do. And so it was a practice to just try to be present for that. And I didn't have to do anything other than just catch my mind when it was being distracted about what had just happened in the past or what may happen in the future. I just had to let go of that thinking and just come back to the present. And it was like, well, I could have just not done my practice, worked with awareness. I could have not worked with it. But if I had done that, I would have been tense the whole time. Right? I just was waiting for the next hit, waiting for the next shot. And there was a way when I caught myself what I was doing, then I could just let go. Because where you are when you let go is you're in the present moment. And then that present moment can hurt. It can be painful. It could be painful, but then it's gone. And then what do you do with the taste of that? What do you do with that? So the word that I use for distraction, it means going into on one level, it means going into the past or going into the future and not just coming back right here. In the process of spirituality, the process of meditation is deeply investigating our experience. It's not adding something to our experience. It's not taking away something from our experience, but it's really going into the nature of this experience. And what we do is we catch ourselves being distracted. We catch ourselves reacting. There are times in our experience where it's pleasant, like you're having the ice cream cone, and there's times when it's not pleasant. But when it's not pleasant, is it not pleasant because we're caught in a mental state, we're caught in thinking about it, or is there actually something that's taking place that's really difficult? And a lot of the times, it's just what's taking place in our head about what happened or what might happen. And if I may, the pain, going back to the example of the mouth, when it came, it hurt. I couldn't deny that it wasn't going to hurt again. And I'm like, oh Lord, I promise to floss every day and brush my teeth and go to the dentist once every 4 months. I promise. But that praying didn't do anything. It didn't change anything. It didn't change my experience. I'll be good. Save me, Lord. Save me, Buddha. I tried it. It didn't work. I had to rely on myself. So the practice, we learn to rely on ourselves. We learn to find that clarity, that place within ourselves where we're actually okay. where we're actually okay. We learn to find it, and where we're actually okay, that can mean what it may mean to you, where you're just not in a state of fear. If you find that place, then you're okay. But maybe it goes deeper than that. But it's to see the proclivities, the fear or the uncertainties that we have about ourselves and about our lives, about the next blast on a tooth. I knew it was going to come, but in the moment between those, what was there? And there was this sense of okayness. There was this sense of a deep, expansive peace, actually. And then it was like, ow. So it's just interesting to think about. Can we find that door? Can we find that place where we're not distracted? And in that beingness, find that place where we're okay. And sometimes it's not very deep okay, but it's okay. And sometimes it's a very profound okayness. The body is, and so to move to the practice of the breath work that we've been doing, um, we've been meditating on the breath and going into the body, the feeling of calm, feeling of joy, and having that sense of calm, that feeling of joy disseminate throughout the entirety of the body. And at some point, our awareness is on the body and on the breath, and exploring the rise and fall of phenomena of experience within the body. And what we find is that the body is a repository of our conditioning. And with a concentrated, focused mind, when we move through the body, we uncover, we connect with our conditioning, the repositories of our past experiences. But just like we will connect with those experiences in meditation, like the the squirt of the water on the raw nerve in the mouth, it's momentary. And underlying that, on the other side of that, is an okayness. Can we find an okayness that's there? I can work with this. I can be with this. I can be okay with this. And sometimes that's really what we need to work with. During the day, in the meditation practice, stuff comes up. Just being okay with it. I can allow that to breathe. I can allow that to be. I can allow that to see the light of day. I can allow myself to feel that. There's a tremendous amount of energy that gets accumulated in the body in those pockets of old trauma and conditioning. Tremendous amount of energy. And when we are able to be with, see it for what it is, instead of the shadow that it casts, fearful shadow that casts, and we can see it for what it is, which is impermanent and non-self, then a tremendous amount of energy gets released. Just like in that moment between the shots of water on the tooth, if one can just be in that place, be okay right there, you're not expending any extra energy, are you? Your energy is your own, if you will. And there's, in that present moment, there's a tremendous reservoir of good energy. We have a busy day tomorrow. We have a busy day today, yesterday. We have pressures. Unpleasant sometimes. Suffering, really, right? Stress, suffering. We all have stress. So we acknowledge that. But in this moment, can we be okay with that? Can we just allow that to be? Can we be okay with that? Another way of saying that, of course, is non-clinging awareness. But that can seem like a highfalutin term sometimes. What about just being okay with, you know? Because you don't know what tomorrow's going to look like. You don't know when you walk into that meeting or walk into that situation. You don't really know. All you can know is right now. You can think about it as much as you want. But if you learn to mine the okayness in this present moment, then there's a much better chance in the next present moment that you're going to be able to experience it as well. So we make a commitment and we recommit to finding that place, working with it. Letting the moment come and pass away. To find that place within us that's okay with what's taking place. And it's not about letting situations or people walk over you or push you around. It's not that at all. It's about just being okay with what's taking place and then doing what it is you need to do. But whatever your action or reaction is, from that place of okayness, there's a clarity there. There's a clarity and there's a strength. There was a book that came out in the 70s, huh? I'm okay, you're okay. I don't know if anybody remembers that book. I read it, um, but I don't remember anything about it. I think I read it. It came out in the mid 1970s. Anyway, I think that's good for this evening. But really, we need to make that commitment. We need to make that commitment to ourselves. We need to make that commitment to being present, to the present moment. And once again, it's not pressure, it's not tightness, it's not holding. It's just being present. Something comes up, you experience something, and then you just come back to this. And you let this grow. You mine it. Just like with the meditation, with the feeling of calm or the feeling of joy, we develop that. We mine that, if you will. And in our daily life, when that feeling, we connect with that feeling of okayness comes up, just, I'm all right. We mine that. We stay connected with that. And we watch that grow. We watch that grow.